We here at Mayhem Media
understand the trials and tribulations of life.
No matter how hard life can get.
Suicide is never the answer.
There's more assistance available today than ever before.
If you or a loved one are suffering from suicidal thoughts, please don't try and take it on alone.
Call or text 988 if you live in the United States.
Or if you're in Great Britain, call 116123 or text 85258.
The world is a better place with you in it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mayhem Tainment. I am your host, JD, alongside Mizpah, and this is going to be the beginning of our 2025 NFL coverage, and we're going to talk a little bit about the draft. Mizpah, thanks for hopping in here and joining me for a small episode quick on the NFL. We're big NFL fans. As people know, we've done our Super Bowl episode 2 years in the past now, and we'll do it again this next year. So thank you for joining me. Unfortunately, he is a Cowboys fan. We'll let that slide.
Well, there's something to be said about those Eagles fans, but, we won't go there right now.
No, not with our second Super Bowl win in 6 years. Now, and toppling our second dynasty. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. First thing that I want to address is, of course, the draft itself. And one of the big issues that people were talking about was how Shedeur Sanders, who is the son of Deion Sanders, slipping in the draft. And everybody couldn't believe it. Of course, we know that there's been some things coming out now that some of the coaches and owners have said that they did not have good meetings with him. And then we found a video. There's also a video circulating, which I am going to play this. So before I play this, if you're watching this on YouTube, then it's likely not going to be up for very long. So make sure you switch to Rumble. Even Facebook, they might take it down because I'm going to include this video clip. So let's make sure this is not my video clip. So, okay. But YouTube and Facebook, they might take it down. So if you're hopefully you're watching on Rumble, but this video clip surfaced, and I think it goes to speak to the character of these guys here. So we're gonna watch this, and then we'll discuss with Mizpah for a minute here.
Going on perfect time already.
Come on, bro, let's make a song. Let's drop for him, Richie. I play football. Here we go.
Football.
I play football. You ain't got no hobbies outside of that? I play football. That's the only thing I want people to know me as, football player. Let's search up Ken Wood. Let me say American football.
So that's a little short clip there. That's between Shedeur Sanders on the left, Cam Ward on the right. Shedeur Sanders wants to make a song, and I get, if you're in between drills or whatever, maybe letting the stress down, trying to relax a little bit, maybe sing a little bit, or just have some fun. Like, I get that aspect of it, but look at Cam Ward, all business, all football. That's what it is. If you were an owner, Mizpah, if you were the owner of, let's say, the Cowboys, because, not pointing any fingers, but, perhaps maybe new ownership at the Cowboys might help them. But let's just say you were the owner of the Cowboys. Which one of those guys would you pick? If you had no other information other than this video clip, which one would you pick?
I would definitely pick the one who's all about football.
Yeah, Cam Ward. Now, even if you had their stats, and let's just, for the sake of argument, because if you look at the numbers, Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward do not have the same numbers. They play in different divisions in college, and Cam Ward plays against some real top teams in the NFL. Shedeur Sanders' numbers are, okay for someone who plays in that division, but even with the numbers, even if Shador Sanders was a little bit better in one aspect or another, I would still choose Cam Ward.
Yeah, unless there was a serious deficit in skills and abilities, I would rather have the person on my team who is eager to learn and wants to improve themselves over somebody who is taking things very lightly and kind of seems like, just a little bit that I've seen, it almost seems like he kind of has the attitude of, my dad was famous, therefore I'm going to be famous too.
Yeah. Or the talent translates somehow. It's not always the case. And I just want to point out to everybody else that if you're concerned about skill level or whatever, that even if since Shador Sanders didn't go with everything in the light that came to light and Shador Sanders slipped in the draft, guess who was drafted number 1 overall? Mizpah.
I have no idea. I missed most of the draft.
Cam Ward, the guy he's talking to in that video, went number 1 overall. So just pointing that out right there. I don't think if there was that much of a deficit in skill level, I don't imagine that Cam Ward would have went number 1 overall, even if Shador Sanders slipped in the draft. That does not automatically make Cam Ward number 1. Obviously, his skill is at where the team wants, and he has the right attitude. So that's what I want to say. And I also want to say that we're not celebrating the fact that Shador Sanders fell in the draft. I think it's a tragedy. And my hope is that maybe he humbles himself a little bit and uses this as an opportunity, and he comes back this season hungry. I mean, listen, Tom Brady was taken in the 6th or 7th round. Okay, let's not forget that. So he can turn it around and make it into something if he chooses to.
Yeah, with the right coach and the right team and the right people surrounding him, maybe they can turn that around and change that attitude, because people can change. People do grow up. People do learn to adapt, and hopefully that happens with him.
Yes.
Seeing what I've seen, that's going to be a tall order.
Yeah, although he tweeted out. Apparently, he tweeted out something after the draft, after he was drafted in something, and he said something along the lines. I can't remember exactly what the tweet was, so you can't quote me. But it was he was giving thanks to God, which is a good start. It didn't look like there was a bunch of other stuff happening. That was the tweet. That's the story that I saw. So let's hope that is the case. And if you want to hear more about what I think about the Shador Sanders and Cam Ward situation, you should check out our sister show. I don't do it very often where I advertise our sister show on Mayhem Media, but I'm going to do an episode on the Boiling Point podcast brand about that, a little short about Shador Sanders and Cam Ward and why I personally think it happened. But it's not good. It's probably not right for this airwaves. It's definitely going to be for the Boiling Point podcast. So if you want to hear more about my opinion on that, then you want to go check that out.
So I'm curious, how do you think the Eagles have done in the draft this year?
Yeah, let's switch now to the draft here. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They had 10 draft picks out of the 7 rounds. They did not have but coincidentally did not have a 7th round pick. They had pick 1, pick 2 in round 4, or round 1, round 2, round 4. And then they had 3 round 5 picks, 3 or 4 round 6 picks. And I like some of their picks. I like their first pick, 31st pick overall, Jahad Campbell out of Alabama. He's a linebacker. He looks good. He moves good. I think he's going to fit right in with the Eagles, and he's going to give them some fresh blood there at the linebacker position. You know how the Eagles like to rotate their defensive linemen and their linebackers to keep that pressure up, to always keep moving and getting that penetration with just the front 4, or when they only rush a single linebacker or 2. So it's good to have some more fresh legs in there, in my opinion. On that, they took a safety second in the round, 64th pick overall. And again, I'll actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. their first 6 picks were all defense. So that just goes to show you what the Eagles were doing. They, they re-signed everybody as far as I know on offense. So we pretty much have almost the same exact starting roster that we did last year. And we bolstered our defense. I think we're probably in a great position to make another run.
Yeah, and as far as the Cowboys are in trouble. They needed help on offense and defense. I mean, that was kind of the focus of their draft so far. But
yeah, I watched. I was watching. I wasn't able to actually watch the draft. I watched. It was a Bleacher Report coverage presented by DraftKings. It was on, and that's also on HBO Max, is where I saw it. If you don't have enough advertising in there, I watched it on there. All right. So, and the first night they had Micah Parsons as a guest. Okay, Mizpah. So Micah Parsons, is your big defensive end. Definitely a great player. If you guys can get some of your shit together, he's definitely, could be a potential defensive MVP and all that stuff. So, but the look on his face, he cannot. I want to play poker against that man. That's all I'm saying. I want to play poker against him. I can win some money.
He didn't seem very impressed with the picks.
At least the first pick, because he was on there for the first pick. So he wasn't on there for the other nights, just the first pick. So it looked he didn't look very happy with that pick. And based on what he wanted, it doesn't look like. I mean, you guys' pictures are scattered all over the place. You guys got a guard in the first round. Then you took a defensive end as your second pick, then a cornerback, then you go to a running back, then back to a linebacker, then an offensive lineman, then a defensive tackle, then a running back, and then a defensive tackle.
Well, and that's what happens when you need some serious help on all fronts. You can't focus in one particular area.
Yeah. It seemed like they don't know where they needed people in this draft. I mean, they're still free agency. They can still make some moves, but I don't know. Their draft looked kind of scattered. I don't really know didn't really look like they had a plan with that.
Well, we've got a new head coach, and the Cowboys are not known for being the best in the draft.
That has to do with your front office. Just like I think that's a lot of where your problems stem from is the front office. And now you got another new coach, as you just said.
Yeah.
Because Mike McCarthy, right? Is that who they got rid of?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he didn't get it done in 1 year.
And I think it was our offensive coordinator that they promoted.
Yeah, that's going to work out well for you guys. I'd say the Cowboys are likely going to be in it's going to be the Cowboys and the Giants bringing up the rear.
I don't know if we'll be in the rear, but I think we're going to have another. It's probably going to be another, 7-10 season.
Yeah, I mean, do they still have Zeke?
Well, yeah, Zeke's Zeke.
Yeah, boy, did I call his career wrong about 5 years ago.
I'd like to point out who called that right, though.
Yeah, no one's asking you.
We had many conversations about that.
Yeah, I was way wrong on that one. I think he still had the potential. I think he messed it up.
He's got the skill. He's just got to get his head out of the way.
Well, I don't know if he does anymore. Now he's pretty much. I mean, running backs don't have a super long shelf life. He's in his 6th, 7th season? I mean, he's pretty much. It's going to take him too long to get back. I doubt he'll ever be the feature back again.
No, he had such opportunity and lost it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how the Cowboys do once we get a little closer. make sure you look for us in the preseason. We're gonna likely we're gonna test out doing some watch-alongs with some of the games in the preseason and see if the NFL squashes us or not.
And incidentally, Sanders, he went to the Browns, right?
Yeah, Shador Sanders. Yeah, he did. He went to where all quarterbacks go to die.
Well, maybe
I'll tell you what. If he turns that around, like if he starts taking the Browns into the playoffs or gets them even a championship, gets them a Super Bowl win, then dude, everybody's going to be eating crow. That's for sure. There's going to be a lot of people, and the analysts will never shut up about it. But let's save that for another time. The Commanders. We're going to talk about some of the NFC East, except for the Giants, because, well, they traded Saquon Barkley to the Eagles, and we all know the end story to that. So we're just going to talk about the Commanders here, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the Chiefs. They were the AFC champions. Leave a comment, and we can start including some other teams if you would like us to talk about some other teams. The Redskins, while the Eagles had, what did I say, 9 picks?
Yeah.
The Commanders had 5.
Ouch.
And they took an offensive tackle in their first pick, number 29 overall. They took a cornerback, 61 overall in the second round. They did not have a third round pick. In the 4th round, they took a wide receiver. In the 6th round, they took a linebacker out of UCLA. And in the 7th round, they did not have a 5th round either. And in the 7th round, they got a running back. So I don't know what that was either.
Yeah, they're kind of all over the place too.
Yeah. And based on what they need, I don't know that they got anything that they actually need. Right now, their offense is pretty good. So maybe they didn't need to pick up, they just picked up another wide receiver, or running back. So they got a little more depth maybe. And, the rest of it looks like they were focusing on defense. Oh, except the tackle. So, yeah, I don't know, man. The tackle's good. You want to protect your quarterback. The Redskins do have, or the Commanders, Commanders do have a good quarterback. So I think, probably they got the linemen to give him some more protection. But, yeah, I don't know. Let's see what they do in some free agency, I guess.
Maybe they were comparing notes with the Cowboys.
Yeah. I don't know about that. So the Chiefs had 2 third rounders and no 6th round. So they took, it looks like they got a left tackle, a defensive tackle, defensive end, cornerback, wide receiver, linebacker, running back. So they pretty much got an assortment too. So it looks like they were just kind of drafting where they want some more depth. See, it's different. The Chiefs are the AFC defending champions. When you're the defending champions, unless you lost a bunch of people in free agency or contract time, you're really just looking to kind of bolster your ranks. You know what I mean? And it seems like that's what the Chiefs did. While the Eagles built up their defense, they obviously felt where their offense is pretty much where they want it. So they went more defense heavy in the draft. The Chiefs kind of took an assortment, it looks like, but not in the same way that there's a difference between taking assortment like when you're the Chiefs and when you're the Cowboys, right?
Absolutely. The difference is desperation.
Exactly. So even though the Chiefs did look like they have an assortment of a draft too, I consider that it looks like more that they're just bolstering some of their depth, whereas the Cowboys didn't seem to know what they needed or where they needed it, save for maybe 1 or 2 positions. So, I mean, overall, I think the Eagles drafted great. I think defense is where we needed it because we've lost a couple of key defensive players in the last couple of years. So I think the defense is where we needed to build it, especially if we've got everybody locked down on offense, especially our wide receiving core. And, of course, we have Saquon Barkley for another year, at least another year. So, and we got some good runners behind him too. Barkley doesn't have to shoulder the entire load. We got some great runners behind him.
Yeah, it's the Eagles have a pretty solid team. The Chiefs, again, they're pretty locked down.
My concern for the Chiefs is their wide receiving core. They've lost some people, and Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, but if nobody can catch the ball or get open, then you're kind of neutralizing Patrick Mahomes as a weapon. He's not really, he can get out there, he can make some moves, he can make some crazy throws, but he's not really a scrambler. He's not going to be running for hundreds of yards or anything like that. So, and they don't really, I mean, they've lost some key players. They really got to, Patrick Mahomes has been carrying that team, in my opinion, for the last 2 years. Like, he's been the one getting it done, him and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, they've been relying on them pretty heavy.
Yeah, and I don't think you can keep doing that. Yeah, I don't think you can keep doing that. I think teams are savvy to it. So I think I think the Chiefs could have a really rough year. I don't think, let's put it this way. I don't think this might be the first year that I'm not actively trying to draft Patrick Mahomes in the fantasy draft.
I wouldn't count them out. I mean, even their backups were pretty good. The backup receivers, I couldn't tell you their names right now, but
I don't know. I think the Chiefs got some rebuilding to do. I don't know that they accomplished it in the draft. We'll definitely do another episode to talk about free agency once we get a little closer to preseason. We're not going to just regurgitate what analysts and everything else are already spewing out there in the world. So we'll do episodes when there's something to actually talk about, or when we get closer to preseason. And we are going to do some watch alongs. We're going to do one in the preseason, see how it goes, make sure the NFL doesn't squash us. And then if that works out, then we're going to do, I don't think we're going to do it every week, but likely once a month, we're going to pick a game and do a watch along for that game. And it'll likely be a primetime game, like a Sunday night game, Monday night game, or maybe the game of the week, the 4:30 afternoon game, maybe, but it'll more likely be a Thursday, Sunday, or Monday night game. That's likely what it'll be when we do a watch along. Mizpah, am I forgetting anything? Do we want to talk about anything else?
Not that I can think of.
We got a good spring and summer. We're going to be planning. We got some good episodes coming up. Of course, our prediction show. If you're a wrestling fan, our prediction shows are going every month. So look for those. They're going good. We won't be doing another pay-per-view watch along till probably SummerSlam, maybe. And everything else is looking like it's going to be, we'll be producing some pretty regular content. So look for us to continue going through the summer and cranking things out. And, check out our storefront. Where's my visual? Let me get those up. The website, let's do the website first. www.mayhemmediaproductions.com. Go there. You can check out most of our episodes. There are some of our recent episodes I do need to upload, but a lot of our content, a majority of our content is available on the website. Go check it out. And of course, our storefront, you can help support us, pick up something, bonfire.com/store/Mayhem Media shop, and pick up lots of apparel. We have t-shirts and we have lots of new apparel coming very soon. We got a lot of new stuff in on Bonfire. I just haven't made it yet, but we got lots of t-shirt designs. We got the coffee mugs, and we got some traveling mugs there. And of course, Connor Clarkson gear. We got Jesse James gear. Everybody's got some of their own gear. So pick up something, support us, and share it out. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about our opinions on things. And if you'd like us to adjust our coverage or include a team when we do coverage, let us know about that too. We'd like to hear from the people so that we can make our shows better, more to at least somewhat to what people want to see at least. Mizpah? Yeah. So shout out for the Breeze, who was not on this episode, but she may have made it on in the background during a frame or two during this episode. Leave a comment if you were able to spot Breeze and hashtag I spotted the Breeze. Maybe we'll turn that into a little something as well. So hashtag I spotted the Breeze, and then leave the timestamp of when she's there. And the first person that does that for any episode that we have Mizpah on at home, then we'll we'll pick a winner, and maybe they'll get something free from our storefront. That sounds good, right, Mizpah?
I like it.
Yeah. So, and the Breeze, of course, being a part of it, even when she's not a part of it. That's where we're going to wrap this up. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, JD, for Mizpah. And that's the end.
Good night.